What's up people, my name's Sean Reynolds, welcome back to the Ditto Music channel. Today we're talking all things marketing and how you can take your next release to the next level with a few of my favourite tips and tricks. What's more is we're also giving away an Akai MPK Mini Keyboard, so stick around to the end of this video and you can find out all the information on how you can potentially get your hands on one. Roll the tape! Before we get stuck in, if you're watching this video, the chances are that, like me, you make music. And if that's the case, you're going to need to get yourself a distributor for the tracks that you release. May I recommend Ditto Music? You get a 30-day free trial so you can try it before you buy it, and you also get to keep 100% of your royalties. You can get your music sent out to Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, and many, many more with the click of a few buttons. And I will leave all the information in the description box below, so head on over to the Ditto website to find out more. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, you're an independent music maker, but did you know, if that's the case, you're also a music marketer? It kind of comes with the job, unfortunately, if you can't afford to pay people thousands and thousands of pounds to do it for you. Now, although this might not be something that you thought you were signing up for when you decided to make music for a living, I am here to hopefully make things a lot more straightforward and simple for you going forward. I'm going to be giving you my 8 best tips for marketing your music and yourself as an artist in the modern music world. So why not start with the most important one, and that is your branding. Now, your brand is more than just the music. It's about how you visually present yourself, your story, and the message behind your sound. And there is a running theme with all of the videos that I've done on the Ditto Music channel, and that is that first impressions count more than you would ever imagine. So make sure your branding and your music align in a way that is going to attract the attention of potential new listeners. Equally though, don't force anything. Don't look at other artists and just copy what they're doing, because then that's not authentic to you and your story. Do what you actually love. Focus on the things that make you feel good about yourself, make you feel good about your music, and focus on those. Like, what makes your music stand out? What makes you, you? So let me give an example. This is Tilda. She is a singer-songwriter. Her music is very organic sounding, lots of real instrumentation, indie pop, folk kind of vibes. So we went out into the local forest, shot some pictures, and thematically, it matches up perfectly with the overall sound of her music. And a really good way to kickstart your brand if you're struggling to think of anything is, if your songs could paint a picture, what would that picture look like? And start there. Your brand is what allows your fans and listeners to connect with you on a much deeper level than just the music itself. So it's a good idea to take your time and think about it carefully. Now, moving on to tip number 2, let's just get it over with. It's the one you're probably least looking forward to: building a social media presence. Now, unfortunately, in the modern world, it's a tried and tested method to build engagement and reach new people online. It just is. For example, I actually tested this method out last year and I posted twice a day for about 3 or 4 months. And I went from 0 followers on TikTok to 12,000 followers on TikTok. I haven't really posted loads since, but it's a grind and you have to put your time and effort into it, making lists and spreadsheets and going over all these different things to make sure you're posting consistently. But if you can put your mind to it, I'm proof that it works. And since I was in that grinding mindset, I found some new tools that if I was to do it again, I would utilize and it would help me considerably. There is one I particularly like called One Up, and yes, it does cost money, but it allows you to post your short form content to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and I think even more at the same time. And you can schedule everything weeks in advance to take care of that. You spend a day just doing all of your social media posts, schedule everything, and then you can spend the next few weeks or however long you've scheduled your posts for to focus on making more music. There's another really powerful tool that I use for short form content, and I mainly use this for podcast clips, but it could be used for any other kind of content. It's called Opus Clip, and there are lots of AI assisted short form content generation apps and tools out there, but this is one that I've been using recently and I've gotten on really well with it, so I thought I'd just recommend it to you. So although consistency is key when it comes to building a social media following these days, there are lots and lots of tools available to you that can make this a hell of a lot easier. But quickly before we move on, jumping back to tip number 1, posting on social media is another opportunity to solidify your brand values. So don't forget your brand when you're posting anything at all on social media. Tip number 3 is kind of along the same lines as tip number 2, except we're being more conscious of what we're posting and focusing on trends and virality, trying to make the right decisions to market ourselves in the most lucrative way. What I mean by this is try to be as imaginative and creative as possible when you're promoting yourself and your music online. So first things first, do your research. Maybe do some searching on social media to see who is posting similar stuff to you, who has similar music to you, and how can you adapt that and change it to fit your brand instead. For example, for some musicians, finding a really beautiful location might work for the kind of music they make if it's grand and if it's on a large scale and it sounds huge. But if you're making bedroom pop that has more of an intimate sound, maybe shoot some stuff in your bedroom. Find a place that matches the sound of your music and make content to support it. Now, I had a really good chat with a content creator the other day who has 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and he was telling me all about how he approaches things in a more analytical way. And I showed him a song that I was currently working on. I was like, what would you do for this song? And he gave me a list of 10 ideas from the top of his head, and they were things that I just would never have dreamed of doing because it made no creative sense from my point of view. But from a more analytical side of things, thinking about how an audience reacts to content, what's going to kickstart the algorithm and drive interactions rather than just getting people to listen to the song. Why are they listening to the song? What is happening in that piece of content to draw you in and make you stay on that video for longer and hopefully hook them onto the song as a secondary? Tip number 4 is playlisting. Playlisting still plays a pretty huge role in marketing for independent music. And there are many tools available to us to pitch to playlist curators in order to get placed on lists that are actually going to benefit your music. What I mean by that is there is absolutely zero point in your music getting placed on a trap playlist if it's indie pop, for example. You need to make sure that your music is being sent to the right curators to get placed on the right playlists. And sites that I've used to help with that process: SubmitHub, I have had good success with. Groover, I've had okay success with. MusoSoup, I've had okay success with. But there are other options available to you as well at differing price points. So make the right decision for your budget. And one pro tip, make sure that you claim all of your artist profiles on all of the streaming services. This is quite a lengthy process as some of them are a bit more difficult to claim. Spotify for artists is pretty straightforward. Apple Music is also fairly straightforward. The rest of them may take a little bit more time, but make sure you do because it all ties in with making sure you've got a consistent brand image across all of those platforms. Tip number 5, collaboration is key. One of the quickest ways to grow on social media and in your music career in general is to work with other artists because you're effectively sharing fans. Find the right artists that match the kind of vibe that you're going for with your music and work together to create something as a collaboration. This will merge your fans and you will gain fans, they will gain fans. It's a win-win situation. You can utilize collaboration posts on Instagram, which basically means the same post is shared identically on each of your profiles. You can make music together. You can do live battles on TikTok. There are loads of online ways that you can collaborate and work with other people to help build each other up. Now, I believe that there is no room for competition and jealousy and all of this rubbish in the music industry. Gatekeeping, I absolutely hate it. So we're all here to help each other, build each other up, work with other people, even if they've got a smaller following than you, help them out because you never know who you may need on the way down if they're on the way up, if you know what I'm saying. Number 6 is a fairly simple one, email marketing campaigns. Now, who would have thought? 2024 and emails are still king. It's the truth. The algorithms on social media are against us, and unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. But emails are still direct to consumer. There is no more direct way to reach your fans than through their email. So find a way, whether that's through your website or through the link tree on your social media profiles, to collect your listeners' emails. This could be by offering some sort of free perk, whether that's a demo version for free or even a song for free. Once you've managed to build up a decent mailing list, you'll be able to directly email your fans and reach them way quicker than you ever could on social media. Tip number 7, we're going to go old school and take things IRL. Check whether the place you live or somewhere nearby has a decent music scene and embed yourself within it. Get to know people, network, go and make friends within that world so that they can help you and you can help them. A lot of attention is put onto social media and your online presence, and although yes, as we've discussed, it's extremely important, it's equally as important to assert yourself as a part of the community. It's also just really healthy to be part of a music scene and talk to like-minded individuals rather than getting sucked into the potentially dangerous worlds of social media where things just seem very oppressive, competitive and overwhelming. Get out there, meet people and realize that we're all in this together. Plus, let's not forget that once upon a time, playing shows was actually the best way to market yourself. And although online has kind of taken over, playing live isn't dead in the water. It is still very important and can be very beneficial to your growth as an artist. And lastly, we have tip number 8, which is utilizing ads. Now, I've done a full video on how you can utilize ads to market your music online, so make sure you go check that out. But the basic gist of it is that you pay a sum of money to advertise your music to potential listeners. But there is a whole load of different things that you need to think about before you start running ads, so make sure you do go check that video out and you can make sure if it's the right decision for you. But a really great opportunity to market your music nonetheless. So there you have it, 8 tips to marketing your music. But let's get to the competition. I know that's why you've watched all the way to the end. If you want to get your hands on an Akai MPK Mini Keyboard, all you need to do is drop your best music marketing tip in the comment section below. We will choose our favorite and you could be the lucky winner of this Akai MPK Mini MIDI Keyboard. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the little thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the Ditto music channel if you want to see more content like this. My name's Sean Reynolds. Make sure you follow me on social media at Sean D Reynolds. I will see you again in the next video. Peace.